Hi, friends. My name is Jennifer Singleton, and I wanted to jump on real quick and tell you guys my story. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. My mom started Mary Kay when I was 2 years old. Growing up, we had a magical closet. It was full of makeup and skincare. And when I turned 13, I got to start using all the things in that closet. And from 13 to 30, all I ever used was Mary Kay. All I washed my face with was Mary Kay. Any makeup that I wore was Mary Kay. My mom gave it to me. If it was the wrong color, she would say, "That's not your color, give that back." And she took care of all the logistics for me. I never really had to do anything. All I saw was her selling to some friends and family. I never saw her do facials or parties or have people at our house at our kitchen table. That's all I knew about our products or the products in the business. My mom passed away when I was 30, and my dad immediately said, "You need to take all the stuff out of her closet and you need to sign up to sell Mary Kay." And I told him that was the dumbest idea I had ever heard. I was a teacher at the time. I have a master's degree in as a reading specialist. I was a dance coach. I owned a craft store, and I just felt like I could go to Target and buy some makeup, and it would be fine. And I had a full plate, and I just thought it was all the same. So I went to Target, and I'm very fair. I have red hair. This is like my natural color. I thought it was the whitest color they sold, and I went home, and I basically looked like this. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not the whitest color. The problem was, is everything was in a package, and by the time I would get it home and put it on, it was the wrong color. And I, at the time, this was about 12, 13 years ago. Well, I guess 15 years ago. And I went back to Target with all the used products, and they were like, "Well, we can't take it back because you used it." And I was like, "Well, it's not the right color." And my mom had always taken it back and taken care of it. And so about a year had gone by, and since my mom had died and my dad had told me to sign up, and I was out of all the Mary Kay my mom had given me, I was not happy with any of the stuff I tried. I tried other direct sale companies. I tried every store thing I could find, different stores, like convenience stores, Target, Walmart, all the things. And my aunt called me one day. I was on maternity leave. I had just had twin girls, and it was August, and everybody else was back at work, and I had a little bit of time off with my girls. And my aunt said, "I'm out of all the stuff from your mom. I need you to find me someone today to get some Mary Kay from." And I said, "Well, I'm broke. I planned on one baby and I had two. I don't know if you know anything about twins. They're buy one, get one free at the hospital, and then you get home and they're twice as expensive. So we needed daycare money. At the time, I was married to a teacher and we were on very set salaries. Every penny was spoken for. And I had lined up daycare, but I had not lined up how we were going to pay for daycare. And when I signed up to do Mary Kay, I told the lady on the phone, who was random. I just found someone on marykay.com and signed up under her. And I said, "I don't have time to do anything. I'm a mom. I'm married to a coach. It is coaching season. I have twins. I have a full-time job. Like, my plate is full. I just want the products half off. I'm gonna sell to my mom's family and friends who she sold to, my dad, and that was it. And by the way, y'all, when my dad told me he needed his products, I was like, "Excuse me." And he said if it was in a pink bottle, he did not care. If my mom gave it to him, he absolutely used it. And so for 28 years, he had been using pink bottles because my mom said this is the best stuff, and he believed in it. And so he was my first order. He ordered 12 tiny tubes or travel tubes or whatever, and 6 large tubes of extra moisture night cream. And to this day, I believe he thought I wasn't going to do it very long, and so he was stocking up. But that was the one product he swore by the most. And so I signed up that day. I did order some inventory because I remembered my mom had a shelf that friends and family bought from, and so I bought some of the most popular stuff. And my plan was just to sell to them, and what they bought would pay for my makeup and my skincare, and my stuff would be free, and I wouldn't have to go to Target anymore and be unhappy. And so the lady who I signed up with said, "Listen, can I just come show you what's new?" They had just launched a new skincare line. I didn't know what colors I needed. And so she said, "If you get a couple people, I'll just show you what I do, help you with the next order, and help you sell some of the stuff. And that's it. You don't have to do anything after that." So she came over. I had my aunt who asked me to sign up, my cousin, and my best friend come. And we all passed babies around. We washed our face with one hand. Her kids kind of played in my living room. And at the end of that hour, she had sold $700. And so I didn't know anything because I didn't care, remember? I just signed up for the products. And I said, well, what does that mean? And she said, well, you just made $350 profit because we make a 50% profit. And I was like, excuse me, I'm a teacher. I have a master's degree. I've been doing this for 15 years and I've never made that kind of money in a whole day, much less an hour. And I was like, that's half my daycare money. You just did that in an hour with my kids? And she was like, yes. And I said, okay, well, I didn't care what you were doing when you got here, but I care now. Could you teach me to do that? And she was like, absolutely. And so I started working 1 to 2 times a week at my house. I had everyone come to me because it was convenient for me because I didn't have to get a second babysitter. And at the end of the first month, working a couple hours a week, I had sold $2,000. And so that meant we had $1,000. So not only did I pay for daycare, I had some extra money to pay some hospital bills that were starting to accumulate because and I was in the hospital for a few extra days from complications. So we had tons of bills coming in. And I just never looked back. Within 6 months, I had earned a free car that was working part-time around my teaching schedule with my kids. And I had become a director at the end of that first year, that summer. And I never made in the 12 years, I just made 12 years that I've been a Mary Kay. I've never in a month made less than I made as a teacher. I've always made more as a teacher, working part-time and then full-time. And so for about 3 years, I did both jobs. We 6 months later, we earned another free car with Mary Kay. So we'd earned 2 free cars in the first year. And so we moved up to a little SUV. And I just decided, okay, I'm just going to keep working this part-time like it's working. And then at the end of 3 years, I was like, well, if this is what I'm doing part-time, what could I do if I could do this full-time? And so I retired from teaching at 33 years old. And I had been teaching for 13 years at that point already. And I was able to stay home with my girls. I kept them at a little part-time daycare, and we were the last ones to show up, first ones to leave. We went on the days we felt like it, so I could still get work done. But I have been a work from home mom for the last 9-ish years. And I've done this job everywhere. I've done it married. I've done it going through a divorce. I've supported me and my children. I did not have to get a second job while I was a single mom. And I've done it getting remarried. And now I have 4 children. So I have 4 girls, twins that are 12, and I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And so I love this job because I get to be the mom who goes to school. I get to drive them every morning, pick them up. I get to take them to all their practices. My schedule works around my children's schedule, which is very, very busy. My husband works several jobs. And so we just squeeze Mary Kay in here and there. I also told the people when I started, I would never, ever in my whole life even consider driving a pink Cadillac. But it turns out when you earn your pink Cadillac, not only do you drive it, but you're very excited to pick it up. And so in the last 12 years, I've been driving free a Mary Kay car for the last 11 years. And so we've driven 4 pink Cadillacs, an Equinox, 2 Equinoxes, and the first car was a Chevy Cruze, I believe. So I love my job. I love my life. I love the flexibility. I love the sisterhood. I have the best friends all over the country. And so a few years ago, Hurricane Ida hit the city where I live, and 95% of my consultants, my team, my customers were all like, we lost everything. And so we evacuated. And we were not allowed to come back home for 27 days, y'all. 27 days. I had 5 of the family members with us. We didn't have one of them with us. And we had to travel for 27 days and find places to live. And so first we just went to an Airbnb. And then that we realized, okay, like we can't go home anytime soon. Like, what are we going to do next? And so we went to Houston, and one of my Mary Kay sisters took in my family of 5 for 2 full weeks until we were allowed to come back home after that. So, it was absolutely like stress-free. Another one of my besties from Dallas, she's a Mary Kay too. She came down to just help, to just support us, to love us. She offered us her house if we wanted to go up there. And then when we came back home, at the time I was in an apartment, and my husband and I weren't even engaged. Yeah, maybe we were engaged. And one of my former consultants who became a great friend of mine, she's no longer in Mary Kay, but she and her husband took in my family of 6 when we didn't have a place to come home to. So after 27 days, we came home and we found out we were going to be evicted from our apartment. Within 2 days, we were getting married. So we were engaged. We were getting married on the Friday. We got evicted on the Saturday, and she let us move in, all 6 of us. And so my Mary Kay business has blessed me and my family just unconditionally. And I truly feel like God placed me in the right place. I have the best friends. I love what I do. And I still teach. I just teach women to take care of themselves, their face, their family. And it has just been a godsend to me. So whether you want to do it a little bit or a lot, there are blessings in this business. I have tons of prizes in jewelry. Like this is one of my Mary Kay rings. All these bracelets are from Mary Kay, these earrings. Like I have prizes and all kinds of goodies behind me. And it's just an extra perk of the job. I would do it without that stuff. I've earned a cruise for Mary Kay for me and my family. Several trips. I've been all over the country to the West Coast several times. I never would have done that without Mary Kay. And it has just been such a huge blessing for me. And so I always like to tell people, give it a shot. If you have any inkling whatsoever, like you need some extra money, you want the sisterhood, whatever that looks like, don't care what people think. I cared a lot about what people thought when I first started, but I needed the extra money more than I cared. And so I did it for that. And now I don't care what people think because I love the flexibility in the life I get to live every single day. And I know not every woman has that, and they want that. They want that for their kids. They want that for themselves, to be that mom who gets to be present, but also can help for her family. So I hope my story blessed you today. Give me some feedback in the comments, and we look forward to you considering what we do. Now you have get all the information and then make your own educated decision. But if you're feeling it, give it a shot. The worst thing is that you tried and it